Hey there, I'm Terrie, and I'm the intuitive healer for folks who have anxiety and want to access their soul evolution and intuition. There's more than meets the eye here as we chat and hang out in these episodes that have spiritual, esoteric, multidimensional, somatic, quantum techniques, tools, and tips to help you get unstuck and move you forward in your day-to-day life. So join me in discovering your path to help you clear anxiety of the past, align your energy to the present, and create your new future. Well, hello. How is your heart? I hope it's okay. I sure hope it's okay. This is being recorded full moon in Aries. Today's date is... what is it? September 29th, 2023. So when it's posted, divine timing, but this is when I'm recording it. And it's really interesting. I don't know what you guys are feeling. And just understand that whenever you hear any of these podcasts or any of the messages that I deliver to you guys in any of my content or any media or anything, really does subscribe to the whole divine timing aspect. You will hear what you need to hear from the divine through me as a conduit, okay, when you need to hear it, how you need to hear it. Because sometimes, I don't know if you noticed, you'll hear people say the same thing over and over and over again, but it'll hit you. At one point, it'll hit you completely and totally different. And it was because you needed to be in your evolutionary process at a certain point, at a certain time. And that person who brought you that information in that now moment was your teacher or is a teacher. And you were not ready to receive that energetic download to integrate into your field. So, you know, I might say a certain thing or somebody else might say a certain thing and you might hear a message over and over and over again and then one day it hits you. So, you know, there is divine timing to things. So I don't know when this is going to be posted. It'll be posted when it gets posted, but it's actually being recorded September 29th and it is full moon Aries. And I didn't think it was going to suck it to me. Like, I didn't think that this full moon was going to sort of kick my arse, but it ended up kicking my ass. And what full moons do is that they sort of shine the light and they bring up the schmutz, the darkness, whatever you've pushed down, stuffed away, that you don't deal with. It brings it up into the light. The big, full, juicy moon, when it crests, when you hear, oh, full moon in Aries at 6:52 a.m. or whatever, that 6:52 a.m., whether it's Pacific time, Eastern time, whatever time zone you're in, that is when it's biggest, fullest, most juiciest, and it has its most potency. But we usually feel the energy around 2 days before and 2 days after. So really, like with full moons, we're going to feel it for about a good week, actually. Well, if you're super sensitive. If you're not super sensitive, this may just be a blip on your screen and you just, go through it. You don't feel anything. But full moons, I don't know, sometimes they affect me. This particular year, they have not affected me that much, but this one, totally kicking my ass. And I sort of had a little bit of a breakdown. And of course, with every breakdown, there's a breakthrough. And I woke up this morning and I channeled a message and I had to write this down. So what I wanted to do is I actually wanted to read you guys the message. And I wanted to share it with you in case it resonates with anybody. Because being a spiritual empath can definitely cause that high anxiety, because we're so attuned and we are so sensitive to all types of energies. So whatever energy is going on in our own field, we've got that, right? Then the people around us, we've got that. The people we work with, we've got that. We have all the electrical appliances, we've got that, right? We have the energy of the city, state, country, and planet, right? So we're dealing with a lot of energy. And when we don't know how to correctly move that energy through the body, which is what the body is designed to do, it accumulates, it builds up, and it becomes very excessive, a lot. It builds up in the human body. And that's what anxiety is. That's all anxiety is excess energy that's being held in the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual bodies. So I think today is going to be more about the emotional health. And I'm in I don't want to say I'm in a circumstance, because I feel like with this breakdown, I had a breakthrough. So I'm hoping that I'm actually in the process of moving through it. So I'll just say, I'm in the middle. I don't even feel comfortable saying that. That doesn't even feel right to say. I'm moving through. An energetic pattern that I have in terms of having a crush on somebody. So there's a guy that I have a crush on, or I want to say, I can't even say have, because again, I'm moving through this. I'm processing all this information. But there was a guy that I definitely had a crush on, and I'm being very disappointed and defeated by. And it just doesn't feel good. And what I'm realizing, so take this, if this is something that resonates with you, I have this tendency, one of my survival coping mechanisms is called fawning, which is like people pleasing, right? So I'll have a tendency to put other people's needs or wants ahead of mine as a way of feeling like I fit in, or, again, it's a survival thing, right? Ultimately, it's this fear of dying. That's ultimately what these survival coping skills are. Like, if I don't do this, I'm going to die, Excuse me. So any hoodles, there's information that's being revealed to me that doesn't feel good. And I'll have this tendency to not really pay attention to that and just kind of be like, yeah, whatever. Let's still see what's going to happen, right? So I was having this breakdown to a girlfriend last night. And she's like, well, you want to sit with this for a little bit because I'm what's called fearful avoidant, which is like the worst. I don't want to say the worst. There's so much judgment. It's a challenging attachment to have in relationship. It's the one that says, come here, I need you, but go away, you're getting too close, right? So it's kind of the mix of the anxious and the avoidant. Some people call it disorganized, fearful avoidant, whatever. It's the push-pull. Not good to have a constant struggle and a constant battle, but the fact that I'm aware and knowledgeable of that, at least in relationship, and again, it doesn't matter whether it's romantic or friendship or whatnot, having the awareness does give me the ability to manage it, right? So I have this tendency where when I find out information I don't like, I just want to just cut off. So it takes every fiber of my being, every bit of my energy to hang in there and work past it. And when you have a fawning response, in terms of survival, you can also go to the extreme of it, right? So anyways, so she told me to explore, because I kept saying to her, what stood out to her was, I did it again. I can't believe I'm in this situation again. And she corrected me. Bless her heart. I will respect anybody who calls me out on my shit. Right? I will respect anybody who calls me out on my shit. And she's like, Terrie, no, because I know you and your patterns, and I know the situation in the scenario with that guy that you are comparing this to. And this is nothing like that. And I just started, she's like, I really think you should sit with this and see what comes up. So I tossed and turned all night as usual, because as we empaths like to do, we like to mull over, and it's the anxiety, right? We like to review, we like to strategize, we like to see how we can do things different next time, all the things. And so I tossed and turned. And then I finally fell asleep. And this morning I woke up, bang, and I'm like, uh-oh, Spirit's got something to tell me. So that's when I came up with this message. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, did it lead me to a big ass cry session. And I moved a lot of stuck energy through. And I want to read this message to you in case it resonates with you. So here we go. It's okay to have emotions, and it's okay if they feel big. And it's okay, and if it's let me rewind this. First of all, I just had a thought that came into my head. I feel like I have to set this up better for you. What I'm sharing with you, or what the message that I'm about to share with you, can be put into any situation. So it's not specifically relationship, okay? It is about energy and how we block our blessings, and how we can clog up the pipe of flow for all the yummy goodness that we do want to have in life. So when I share what I'm sharing, it's about any situation, okay? So I just want to make sure that I cleared that up for you. So here we go. me. All right, here we go. It's okay to have emotions, and it's okay if they feel big. And it's okay to embrace the shame that goes with having those big feelings. It's the only way to integrate the shame. Then, is it really shame? No, it's acceptance. Then you allow yourself the experience. Then you learn from the experience. Otherwise, there's no experience. You're here to have feelings. Your body is the feeler of the feelings. And without those feelings, there can be no action to take. And you need action in order to have what you want. It's okay to explore possibilities and get let down and not feel good as information is being revealed to you. You're not going backwards, and no, you didn't do it again, because you're in the exploration phase. It's only a problem if you continue to not choose yourself after the exploration stage. That's where the pattern actually is. That impedes correct action taking and messes up your energy. Having big feelings allows you to choose wisely as long as you're exploring. Exploration stage is not the final stage, but it can turn into it if you ignore your feelings. You get to control the stages of exploration or further. You are not victimized by your feelings, especially if you can give yourself the grace to be okay with and allow what feels so big. Nothing is wrong here. There are no problems if you choose yourself. And for you, in this now moment, it means not giving your attention to what bothers you. And whatever it is that you're feeling right now changes anyway. Know, trust, allow yourself to have those big feelings, and that it's okay. Nothing is wrong as long as you have the awareness of what those big feelings are and where they come from. Big feelings are okay. Having big feelings are okay. But don't ignore the fact that you're having them. That's the covertness that keeps you away from your true self, the ignorance. Have those big feelings, as many and as often as you need to, and you don't end up ignoring yourself. Use exploration and all of the disappointments and defeats to become your compass or North Star, to get enlightened again. You can find your way back to who you really are. But you need those big feelings to get there. Don't push them away. Don't ignore them. Don't even judge them. You are not wrong for having big feelings. You are not stupid for having big feelings. You are not childish for having big feelings. Your big feelings don't have to be silent. And when you realize you are okay with the big feelings, you will understand how your soul gifts you upgrades. And when you integrate those big feelings instead of ignore them, your intelligence comes online. And then choice and decision making becomes clear. Your compass and the road ahead shows up for you, and now you can choose the direction you get to move in. So with that being said, is having big feelings during exploration really a terrible thing? No. Ignoring your feelings, pushing them down, rearranging them, that's the terrible shame, because you're not choosing you. Give your feelings the spotlight they need so that they don't have to live in the covert dark. Mama Pajama. No, Spirit didn't say Mama Pajama. I'm saying Mama Pajama. That hit me like a ton of bricks because I have always had really big, huge feelings. Like when I feel joy, I am joy. When I'm feeling sad, I am sad. But of course, we are not the feelings and the emotions. We're experiencing the energy of them. But the thing is that as a people pleaser, which I want to call myself a recovering people pleaser, as a people pleaser, it takes, or as a recovering people pleaser, my bad, it takes a minute, and sometimes more than a minute. This one took a long time, where it feels like forever. When I had those very familiar feelings of this doesn't feel right, this isn't right, I don't like the way I'm feeling, but yet I'm going to continue feeling these feelings and torturing myself in the hopes that maybe he'll pick me, right? Maybe he'll choose me. Maybe he'll pick me, right? And ultimately, like, I don't know how this story is going to play out, but I'm going to choose, and this is me personally, I'm going to choose to not ignore how I feel. And the bottom line is, it's not feeling good to me. So I want to move that not feeling good feeling out of my way. That's it. So the way I do that is that I just go, you know what? When he pops into my mind, or I think about him, or I see something on social media, I'm literally going to have to be like, nope, and redirect my energy. Nope, and redirect my energy. And that probably will be 100,000 million gazillion billion, which is an actual number. You should go look it up. Times a day, because that thought form is there, right? So, And wherever we place our attention and focus, that's where we feed our energy. And, why do I want to keep something, anything, it doesn't matter, in my life that doesn't feel good? That clogs my pipe. I found myself thinking last night, I got shit to do. I can't sit here and constantly think about him. I can't be upset that he won't pursue me. I can't be upset about A, B, C, or D. Like, I have stuff to do, right? So this was a huge message. And if you are extremely emotional, if you are very sensitive, if you are empathic, and if you're spiritual, especially if you have anxiety, this is a very potent message. It gives you, I feel like it gives like the divine or my higher soul. I'm not really sure where this message came from. One of those, or a spiritual teacher for all I know. This came through, and I feel like they're giving me like a divine hug. It's like, it's okay to have feelings. And in your case, Terrie, or whoever's listening to this, insert your name, your feelings tend to be big and they tend to be potent. You don't have to ignore the fact that A, you're having them, and B, that they're so big. Like, they're big and it's okay. A lot of it stems from your childhood. So, how you were raised and how you were brought up, right? So I wanted to share that with you because if you think about it, the irony is that this is all coming up for me, or at least this big ass huge message came up for me on a full moon. What do full moons do? Full moons actually do spotlight the hardships. The moon is so big, full, bright, juicy. She will spotlight what needs to be shifted in you, what needs to come out, So it's pretty good timing if you ask me. And of course, there's no such thing as bad timing. It's all divine timing. So now like I said at the beginning, I'm like moving through this experience, because what does it bring up? It brings up rejection. It brings up worthiness. It brings up lovability, all the things, But it's like, no, do we just sit there and go, wait a second, it's not like my feelings don't matter. And this just doesn't feel good. So why do I want to keep putting myself into this situation again and again and again? It doesn't feel good. And if something doesn't feel good, it's not right. It's not right. And all that does is clog up the pipe, right? So this ends up being resistance when we don't allow ourselves to have not just the feelings, but the big feelings, and to integrate them and give ourselves permission to move through them. Listen, we don't want to live in them, right? We want to be aware of why we're having them and the fact that we are having them. We don't want to live in them. So I don't want to mislead you. We have to move this energy through. We have to. Okay. But we can't deny the fact that they're there, and we can't deny the fact anymore that they're not big and that they do affect us. It's not like, oh, well, I don't count. I don't matter. Hell no. It's okay. I have these big feelings. It's okay that they're here. I don't have to feel shame about the fact that I have them, because if I give that judgment, I can't integrate that energy. And all the soul wants to do is use the body as a tool to have this experience. So there you go. So happy full moon in Aries. Oh, this laugh is going to turn into a cry very shortly. All right. Thank you for being here. I hope you got something out of this. And I'll talk to you guys soon in another podcast coming up. Bye. Well, Our time in this now moment together has ended, but another now moment is on its way. Thank you so much for joining me in this human journey and listening to this podcast, The Portal with Terrie Huberman. I sure hope you're getting something out of it. I'm here to help you clear anxiety from the past, align your energy into the present, and help you create your future. My prayer for you is to find the peace and calmness in any given now moment so you can recognize when blessings are afoot and you get to choose your next adventure. Be curious and stay connected. You can always find me at terriehuberman.com. Bye now.